Hey everyone, how is everyone doing on this Xmas day, Christmas night? I'm going to do a brief podcast. Sorry, I'm kind of tired. I'm in Orlando. I flew yesterday, and it was not a red eye flight, but it was. Uh, a Christmas Eve, and things are very slow. Things get very slow because it's the holidays. It's one of the major holidays here in America. By the time I got to the hotel room, and sorry, I'm just jumping from one topic to the other because I'm kind of stressed out. First of all, because I realized that traveling outside the town and traveling period is becoming more difficult and difficult for me because of sciatica. And weather here is obviously nicer than up in New York, New Jersey. Um, but carrying, even though I was carrying a small backpack, and I'm actually, I don't know, without whining too much, but you're going running in the fucking airport with the backpack carrying on your shoulder, then I could feel the fucking weight, on my left leg. And because I was having second thoughts whether I should come or not, but I'm like, the whole thing with my wife's case and everything, she's obviously also not very happy. And she and I were just got worked up, and even today it's like, I mean, we are not together. That's the whole thing. And then I guess this thing is just making me so angry. Every small thing, and just because I didn't used to be like this. Yeah, I had my fucking anger issues, but it's just like this is affecting my fucking brain, dude. And without turning this short podcast I'm going to do from Orlando, my dad's buddy, his daughter, she was so nice. She booked this downtown Marriott a hotel for me. You can see a little bit. This is the window, and you can see a little bit. I don't know if you can. Outside, you can see it's a parking lot and etc. But I mean, you can't see the Universal Studios or what do you call the Disney, right? But I did go to Disney and today, and I saw actually two what do you call theme parks. One was the space. Uh, what the hell was that? Space something, spaceship or one of those, right? And then the other one was about the Earth and civilization. It was a simulator. That was a ride, actually. How actually human beings came from becoming what we have become now since the beginning or dawn of the apes of fucking whatever, right? Sorry, I'm just going to babble too much because I'm just not feeling well today, and I couldn't sleep. And the hotel bed is very soft, and I hardly slept for a couple of hours, and then I took that fucking gabapentin, and then I was just having these weird fucking dreams. Oh my fucking god! I mean, I hardly slept like four hours in total, I think. And then I got worked up. I went to see my father's buddy, and I'm supposed to take him to the. He's older. I'm supposed to take him to the Kennedy Space Center tomorrow. But I also need to work for a couple of hours before I head out there. Because today was Christmas, and Happy Christmas, by the way. I'm sorry, I apologize. Merry Christmas, sir. Happy holidays. And I just feel like I don't want to travel with this condition. And then also, I feel like I don't want to do all the things, by myself. And I felt, because I felt that when I was in fucking, Las Vegas outside in 2021. I went there, was that 2020 or 2021, by myself. And then I took the helicopter ride, and there was a couple who took it sort of like pity on me. And this guy's older. Why is he alone? And, everybody was with their families and all that, And today, I mean, I kind of didn't give a fuck too much, but there were a lot of people at the Disney, Epcot, Um, but I mean, I could feel it because I was there by myself, and then I wish that my wife was there, and it's like, why do I want to do this again? I just feel like I just felt like I don't want to do these things by myself. I mean, because I've done these since the age of the fucking whatever, iron age. I feel like, and and then I just got worked up with her, and it's just like, we just need to, both of us need to like take a lot of deep breaths. I think I need to take a lot of deep breaths because I lose my fucking temper, and we need to be positive. That's what it is. I think every couple has to just look at the brighter side of things, stay positive, and and as much as like I would pretend on the outside, then I inside, the whole fucking rides and all that, without turning my podcast into some really like negative experience. But I just feel like, I need that, I need that like company of, of my companion, that would be my wife. And in this whole thing with us not being with each other has just like, it has, I think, just fucking screwed up things lately, really, coupled with my fucking sciatica. And I told you guys I need to get that fucking injection. Hopefully that will give me some fucking break, and it's not good because I need, I need support. I need, positivity. And she, she's there by herself, not by herself. I mean, she's with my parents and all that. I'm here by myself, and just this is not a good situation, And I'm sorry, just just I don't know. I just feel like I need to just. I mean, I felt like I should not have come here, to be honest with you. But at least, people, my dad's buddy, he and his daughter actually, booked this room for me. And I mean, I paid her, obviously, but I got the discount because she works for Marriott. She's one of the managers, right? And and we have plans to actually, go dinner tomorrow. Uh, this other guy from mountains, he has been here since 2001, I think. And my dad's buddy, we plan to go for dinner tomorrow after Kennedy Space Center, but it just, just like I don't know, man. I'm sorry. I'm just down. I'm just down because I was just carrying the bag from one fucking you know end of the fucking airport to the other end, and and it just travel is just not easy if you have something like fucking body pain, and I just feel like I don't want to travel, to be honest with you, unless it's absolutely necessary now, until I actually get this fucking thing sorted out, because then my wife, she looks at me, she's like, oh, why did you do this, why didn't you come here? And I'm like, okay, but the tickets were so fucking expensive to go to Pakistan, and she knows that. And then I came here because I just wanted to take a fucking break, and then I told you guys that I went to that marriage. I mean, the marriage was nice, but it was just the whole experience of like, I felt like I was in a fucking prohibition era. So I had to basically, we had to smuggle booze into that venue because it was a venue they didn't allow booze in there, and everybody wanted to drink, and I became the fucking, I felt like that teenager who actually was fucking like, smuggling booze into that fucking venue. I mean, what is it like, fucking prohibition era, 1930s? And I just the next day I felt so bad, But in any case, but the wedding was nice, I'm glad at least the guy is here with his wife, and I've been waiting for my wife here for over 2 years, and I have no fucking idea when she'll be interviewed, and it's just that I don't know. I don't know, man. I mean, is there anything positive you want to talk about, sir? Because I really don't want to even do a fucking half an hour. I just wanted to say hello on this Christmas day, Christmas night. I ordered some food from downstairs because obviously everything is closed here, right? So after Disney, I just came to the hotel and ordered some food, had some food, and then I went down there, and they have a nice, actually. This Marriott has a nice like lounge downstairs, and they even have a theater. But I didn't want to go into theater. I stared at the lounge. It looks like a fucking living room, really. Somebody's uncle, whoever's living room, right? So I sat down there. I had one beer, and then I was watching NFL. Chiefs and fucking Steelers were playing. Chiefs obviously won, and I was also trying to talk to Cheapo Air because Cheapo Air is the company that I booked my flight with, right? Because I have a flight early morning on Saturday at 30, but then back to Newark from here, Orlando. I was trying to see if I can actually change that to a later time on Saturday without spending too much money. And the lady on Cheapo Air that I was talking to, she was like, "Oh no, it's 200 and something dollars." I'm like, and then I'm like, no. So I'm gonna go back Saturday morning. Fuck it, who cares? I'll just stay up if I have to. If I couldn't sleep, I'll just stay up. So I'm assuming you all are having best of your health and happiness, and everything in between, your work, your job, your family, your everything. I don't have that luxury, you um, and lately I've been thinking about my own mortality with this thing. I mean, it's not as bad as like cancer or anything, but it just like it just makes me depressed, to be honest with you. And and maybe my wife doesn't. I mean, she does understand. I hope she does understand. And I just, it just, as much as I try to keep my cool and, because 23 fucking years, 22 fucking years before I got married, I've been basically dragging my life, by myself, and on and off, I was dating, but like I've said this, I think I beat this horse to death many times, and like I said in one of my last podcasts, I was ready to basically, before I even met my wife, I was ready to, at some point in time in 2001, actually, I had just, at some point in time, I had decided, and I had just given up. I was going to give up on, finding a relationship and just like finding an alternate means of life, be a monk or something, But then I told you that something lit in my fucking head at some point, and then something told me, listen, man, you maybe you should give it a shot before you become too depressed later on in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years down the road. If you're still alive, you realize, oh, you want to become a monk, or you want to, but then you in the back of your mind, in your subconscious, you actually wanted to have a relationship. You wanted to actually be loved, and you wanted to love someone, because you deserve that. And whoever you love, she probably would, most likely, obviously, would deserve that too, And, whatever you do by yourself, maybe you can do that with her, traveling and everything else, right? Have a meal at home, and cook your breakfast, watch movies together, all that fucking 9 yards. I don't know, man. Just I just feel like maybe because of my anger, maybe I'm not doing justice to her either, or she just can't, like, wait anymore, or I mean, I don't know, man. Just like a fucking loop we are in right now, because it's still the uncertainty, it's still the uncertainty when she would come here, and when we'll be together, and then because you are on the phone and you realize you're not together, you're going somewhere else, and she's home, or she's, let's say, going somewhere else, whatever, you know and then I understand, things pop up in our head, and it's just like, but I just at this point in time, I just need to take care of my health, man, and then obviously her to be with me, that's the second, and then we have to keep our fucking business alive, because that's how I feed myself. I send money home to her, and support my family, and pay all the fucking bills, and just like every one of you do. And I'm not saying that I'm doing anything special, but we have to be strong for each other, and just like sometimes I feel like maybe just I just maybe I'm just too depressed, and lack of sleep, with pain, and just especially in winter, it has just become too much. And, living, I don't know, man. I'm so sorry. I'm just whining, and I'm going to sound like a fucking child here, but I just realized that I listened to too many people, and I even listened to my wife's. She said that don't do anything until I come here, until I come to America, and until I'm with you, don't even get the injection. And now the fucking winter come, and then it's getting worse, and I'm like, I can't, I have to deal with this. I can't just procrastinate. procrastinate this to a point where, if I don't do this stuff, who knows? Because it gets actually worse if you don't take care of it. It gets even worse, and I'm literally like just it has made me think about my own mortality, you know. And I just feel bad for her as well that this had to happen with me, on top of us not being able to be with each other. And last year, I mean, this year, our travel, I mean, you guys know what happened to us in Cyprus, and we were going here, going there, just to as an alternate in case her visa interview gets, you know, too far in the future. And because you never know what the fuck is going to happen in this world, man. Because we are solely relied on the State Department, and hopefully they will schedule her interview soon. And obviously, that's everybody, I think, who has a partner but they're not together. They should be together, because it just sucks because of borders, because of all these things. We can't, and our immigration law is just so slow, and it's just like document legal immigration, and it's just so slow. And it's like, man, I mean, like, do I really, do I have to, I mean, I made that fucking mistake, and I take the responsibility that I didn't know that, I had to wait 2.5 years for my wife to be here, and it's just like, just imagine you have to basically go 3,000 miles to the other side of the globe every 4 months, 3 months, 5 months, and it's just not easy, man. Just, I mean, I'm not in my 30s, or at least if I was younger, a little younger, maybe 10 years or whatever, right? 6 years, or if I didn't have this fucking sciatica, right? And I'm not saying that, yeah, some people may, say, oh man, you did this for yourself. Oh yeah, I did this for myself because maybe I don't know, maybe it was because of golf, maybe it was because of whatever, maybe I had a condition. I know that for sure that on this side of my fucking hip, I always had some numbness, even from my childhood, I remember. Where, I would pinch the what do you call, the muscle here, right? Even now, if I pinch the muscle, I don't feel anything. I don't feel any fucking pain, and maybe that muscle was already it was, and then I don't have a lot of muscle because I'm very skinny, and so maybe the support system just got fucked up, at the L5, L4 level, the bone support structure, because the fucking spinal, bone is the one that actually connects the upper body to the lower. And you need to have some good muscle, without any problem. So I need to get that fucking PRP as well, In any case, everyone, again, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and I just wanted to do this brief, what do you call, podcast before I sign off from Orlando. Weather here is nicer, obviously. I mean, it's not that hot. I mean, it was 67 today. You still have to, wear something light on top of the, what do you call, the, the t-shirt, but you can be in t-shirt. Tomorrow I think it's going to be 70 degrees, which is nice, So at least, the weather here is nice. And one of my friends, actually, I think he actually flew back to New Jersey from Miami today. He was saying he just landed back in New Jersey, and he was like, man, I'm not happy. I'm like, yeah, man, I won't be happy either when I fucking fly back on Saturday. And it just hassle. I mean, and again, when you pass your 50s and you are in fucking 20 degrees and your bones are creaking on top of the fucking sciatica, right? It's getting worse. Which gets worse with the weather. I'm sorry. I apologize that I turned this podcast into a fucking, whining and just like sort of like depressing sort of podcast because like, if I'm not in full, what do you call, presence of this fucking world, man, and I just feel like half of a fucking man, half of whatever, whether it's with my wife or with fucking world through my, you know not best of my health and and everything, just. And that's true for, it's just true for every fucking person on this earth. If they are not engaged in this world fully, with their capacity and with their love and everything, and instead they are getting angry and it's just like, it's not good, it's not good for your health, it's not good for your well-being, and that's the first thing, man. And then your relationship, and then your fucking work, everything gets suffered. In any case, everyone. So I presume you all had at least some good time with your families. I'm here in a fucking hotel room on a on a on a Christmas night because that's what I chose to. My sister had invited me, but I had already made plans. I had already booked the ticket and everything because I think I just needed a fucking break from the weather because I don't know. But then my sciatica hasn't gotten better just because of the weather. They just. In any case, all right, everyone. I'm sorry again. I apologize. I didn't want to like turn this into a very depressing podcast, but I guess I did. All right. So all I'm saying is that I'm not engaged fully in this world with the presence that I want to be with, and that just makes me depressed, to be honest with you. And so with that said, I'm gonna sign off. I'll see you all next week when I'm back in Jersey. And I was talking to, last thing I would say before I sign off is that I was talking to people who have been here for years and years. They ask me, hey, why don't you just move down here at least for 3-4 months? I'm like, yeah, man, I want to do that, but I want to do that with my wife, when she comes here. So we can basically be down here in Orlando, in winter at least for 3-4 months, be snowbirds. And occasionally I can take a plane up there if my engineers need me, if I'm needed in the office, etc. But I can work remotely. They can go to the sites. So that can be scheduled, and I can book the flights in advance and blah 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 and do the scheduling and all that, right? So I can get the cheap flights, and housing down here is cheaper. I can rent my apartment up there for 3 months. Not Airbnb, but I can rent it. But in any case, so somebody was saying that Airbnbs are not allowed in fucking New Jersey. I'm like, what? I don't do Airbnb. I never rented my apartment, but if I have to for 3 months, I'll just rent it for 3 months. All right, everyone. So that's it. That's my podcast here. It's already half an hour, and I wish you all the best of health, happiness with your families, prosperity in your jobs, and and in your relationships, whatever you're searching for. And again, I'll talk to you all next week. Peace.